Alright, further reasoning for the raising of the driving age to 18 would be that it's going to save lives, it's going to lessen pollution because of the age group that we're going to be eliminating from the road, and it's also going to lessen traffic in the future and as of now. As Andrew was saying, it's maturity and not necessarily experience that what causes the high crash rates among young people. 11 studies concerning traffic rates and ages of new drivers determined that age was a deciding factor. Teens who are older when they begin driving have lower crash rates than 16-year-olds who get behind the wheel. We can see that raising the driving age would save lives by an expert opinion as well. Adrian Lund, president of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, a research group funded by the auto insurance industry, states that the bottom line is that when we look at the research, raising the driving age saves lives. We also see from a doctor who's in charge of the trauma director at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, Dr. Barbara Gaines, getting the highest of the high-risk drivers off the road is probably not a bad idea. We can already see that teen fatalities are high. Between 1995 and 2004, the New York Times reported that there were 30,000 fatalities and accidents that were involved by 15 to 17-year-old drivers. According to the study by the AAA Foundation of Traffic Safety, 1/3 of the deaths were the drivers themselves. Fatalities are actually more likely to occur among teen drivers. Again, by the New York Times, 16-year-olds are 3 times more likely to die in a motor vehicle crash than the average of all drivers. We can see too that around the world, most of the driving ages are already set at 18, and they do have a significant lower crash rate than what we do experience in America. The United Kingdom requires drivers to be 17. Brazil, Russia, and most of Europe actually make it 18 as well for the first time to drive. Then taking my second point that the significant number of teen drivers off the road is going to help reduce pollution and help our environment out substantially. According to a study of the Department of Transportation, as of 2008, there were 9.9 million licensed Americans between 16 and 19. Taking into consideration with the carbon emissions from the average vehicle, a small car emits around 0.59 pounds of carbon dioxide per mile. A medium car emits around 1.1 pounds of carbon dioxide per mile, and an SUV emits around 1.57 pounds of carbon dioxide per mile, averaging about, we'll say, a pound per mile of carbon dioxide. Taking 10 million pounds per mile off the pollution is going to help our environment substantially. And we can also agree that driving a car is one of the most polluting acts that we commit. Air pollution is not a good idea for a variety of reasons, large and small. The right idea for eliminating the environmental degrading involves unselfish and compassionate behavior as a scarce commodity that we don't experience. So saying that we need to have the driving age for those that are 16, perhaps we need to be a little bit less selfish and take other forms of transportation to get around. Pollution also has significant health effects that pose ourselves every day. Exhaust from all combustion engines combine to produce local adverse effects on health of car users and all innocent bystanders. Cities have become islands of toxic chemicals from the unrestrained use of vehicle-burning fossil fuels. And we are now so used to this that the roads and highways tend to reduce deaths and disabilities from our motorized contempt has substantially altered the negative impact on society. That was according to a research group. We also must consider that if we did eliminate all these drivers, the traffic rate is going to substantially decrease. Traffic delays chewed through 2.9 billion gallons of fuel in 2007. A lot of fuel that we're wasting just going nowhere. If we did alternatives such as carpooling, it's going to lead to less congestion. If everyone carpool, imagine the many hundreds of thousands of vehicles that would be off the road each day. This would lessen traffic congestion, making trips faster, cutting fuel and car maintenance costs even further. We also must understand that it's the population of drivers that we have is what is causing all this traffic. Traffic experts agree that there is neither enough time to build the new roads and highways or money to afford the cost to meet the needs of California, for example. It causes too many cars and people. Building more roads is not the solution. Considering California in 1984 to 1997, at least 26,000 lane miles of street and highway were added to the road network statewide. Interstate highways grew 5%, freeways increased 26%, streets grew 13%, which adds up to about 45% of increased roads. But the driving also increased by 45%, so there was no solution there. California actually has one of the highest traffic rates throughout the United States. There's reported to be 943,000 16 to 19-year-olds from the state of California driving, according to the Department of Transportation. And we can also say that California's traffic is outrageous. In Los Angeles, the average driver wasted 72 hours per year going nowhere. That's 3 days of work that you can. That's three days that you spent in your car throughout the year. We can actually see that by raising the driving age, we're going to save lives, lessen pollution, and traffic as a result.